And we see that they starting off hot as Mike Mendoza is going directly with a missile dropkick and going to the second rope, trying to stomp Androide 787, and he goes directly to the fireman's carry, going for the GTS. The GTS gets caught by Androide 787, who just throws him right into the canvas, stomped with a shoulder tackle. They're starting with pure intensity. He's trying to overwhelm Android 787, but Android 787 is doing perfectly to respond to Mike Mendoza in this match, dodging him around, moving around, dodging Mike Mendoza's tries for striking, using their ropes to bounce off, going into a Hurricanrana and putting him into the corner. Go for the spear, rolling back, going for double knees into the chest of Mike Mendoza and pulsing himself to a missile dropkick right into the chest of Mike Mendoza. Well, that would be a basement dropkick, really, but I'm sorry. Mike Mendoza is able to see the kick coming and hits him. Oh my god! A kick right into the face of Androide 787, and he has it right in position for a double stomp to the chest. And Mike Mendoza, when he decides to go all out, he is the most brutal wrestler you can fight in that ring. He's not being called the Scorpion for nothing. He strikes, he hits with his venom. The kicks are unlike any other in Puerto Rico. His hits are massive. He begins to chop Androide 787 down. Do not discount Androide 787. Androide 787 won the title with a brutal match against Manu. And as you can see, Androide 787 can be just as brutal or even more than Mike Mendoza. He was shown to be incredibly good at this when he fought on that hardcore match with Manu that got him the belt. Androide 787 throwing him again to the metal bar and hitting hard into the shoulder of Mike Mendoza. Mike Mendoza using dirty tactics here. Mike Mendoza raked the eyes of Androide 787, taking shortcuts in here. Mike Mendoza is never afraid of taking the shortcuts if it means winning the match. Putting him here into a headlock. Just squeezing the air out of Androide 787. Just continuing to squeeze there. Just choking Androide 787 out. The crowd trying to bring Androide 787 back to his feet. And Mike Mendoza uses the hair to keep the headlock in. The referee is unable to disqualify this match. They don't want this match to end on a disqualification. He bounces and only gets caught again. This time, just searing that shoulder into Androide. Just squeezing the air out of him. Androide just going for the pin to actually be able to finally break free from the chokehold, only to get caught by that elbow from Mike Mendoza. Mike Mendoza body slams Androide 787 into the middle of the ring and just begin to taunt him, just pissing Androide 787 off, just with another form bringing him down, squeezing the air out of Androide 787. Really have pretty much made him numb at this point. So Mike Mendoza right now has all the advantage in this matchup with another wicked chop in the corner. This time the spacing of the match really, Mike Mendoza is just enjoying this pacing. This is Mike Mendoza's home right now. Going for another chop. They sound like bullets hitting his chest. Going for a third one as Androide 787 responds, tries to go for another one, but he just rakes his eyes. You can see Mike Mendoza is taking advantage that the referee doesn't want to disqualify this match as a title match and a hair versus hair match. He really doesn't want to disqualify it for any reason. And Mike Mendoza is taking advantage of that, raking the eyes, pulling the hair, using an elbow, and they responding elbow after elbow, throwing him aside. Androide 787 responds to a strike to the midsection, stopping Mike Mendoza to use that third rope and kicking him by bringing him down into his jaw, knocking him out, being able to hopefully shift the momentum as Mike Mendoza have been controlling the majority of this matchup. Androide 787 stalking Mike Mendoza, going for a huge lariat, a clothesline after clothesline to Mike Mendoza. Irish whip into the corner. Androide 787 is able to move across the rope, kicking him in the head, going for a crossbody. Beautifully executed. 1-2 is not enough. Mike Mendoza is not giving up. These two wrestlers can go for hours at this point. There's a lot on the line. Not only the championship, which Mike Mendoza had not won the Spirit to Pro Wrestling Dojo's champion, even though that he's the teacher. His first try against Manu was a defeat, and the second time it went into overtime. And now he's putting his hair on the line for that belt. Uranage from Androide 787 and trying to go for the pin, but the shoulders are not on the mat. Androide 787 going for a standing moonsault, but it's over to predict and go from a senton. 1-2. And he kicks out. The crowd is screaming for Mendoza. Androide captures him with that leg scissors and throwing him in an hurricanrana to the floor. And now throwing Powerade on Mike Mendoza's hair, poking at the Scorpion. Androide 787 has to really push himself further than he has ever been pushed before if he wants to take the Scorpion down. Mike Mendoza right now is going all out, knowing that this is maybe the last chance he gets for that belt. Searching for a superplex, Androide 787 protecting himself. Mike Mendoza rolls and hits him with a forearm, taking Androide 787 off the ropes, and he climbs to the top rope and he's going for a double stomp to the neck of Androide 787. This might be it. Just massive double stomp to Androide, and he jumps, rolls, and goes for a cutter and goes for the pin. 1-2, and he kicks out. Androide still is in this matchup. He is not giving up after a hit like that. Androide 787 has something to prove. He wants to prove that he's a worthy champion. Remember, Androide 787 is one of the oldest students in the Pro Wrestling Dojo, and he has won the second Espiritu Pro Wrestling Dojo champion. And he wants to prove himself that he is as good as any of the other students. More when the last championship run was for 3 years. He has big shoes to fill if he wants to prove he is a worthy champion, and he will prove that by defeating the master of Pro Wrestling Dojo, Mike Mendoza. Putting him on the armbar. Just squeezing, putting pressure on that shoulder that he was able to hurt by slamming him onto the bar at the beginning of the match. Mike Mendoza has had shoulder issues in the past, so it's a very smart move to concentrate on that shoulder and see if he's able to make Mendoza tap out. Again, Mendoza raking the eyes, picking up the belt. He's about to use the belt, but the referee is able to count him in time. But Mike Mendoza is able to respond fast enough, putting him to the GTS. GTS to Androide 77. This may be it. This may be the end of... He's just telling him about the belt. So we have a slow count, and he's able to kick out. The referee did not like at all the use of the belt, and he's complaining to Mike Mendoza. Mike Mendoza is absolutely livid for what has just happened, and Mike Mendoza is just threatening the referee of taking off the mask of the ref. He's about to take the mask of the referee, but he doesn't have his eyes on Androide. Androide is recovering. He's about to take off this mask. Androide takes advantage, puts him into a roll-up. 1-2. Mike Mendoza kicks out. Mike Mendoza responds very quickly, puts him into the arm hook, going for the Stormbreaker. But 450's music is sounding. That is 450's song. Mr. 450 is one of the Mecha Wolf 450. One of the greatly decorated Puerto Rican pro wrestlers right now, but it seems like the song just sounded. We really do not know why. Maybe issues with sound or something, but he did distract Mendoza. He's going for the double hook once more. Androide is able to get out. Jawbreaker to Mike Mendoza. Mike Mendoza is not going down, and he's able to apply pressure, pull the armbar again, applying pressure to the bot shoulder. Just pressing that shoulder down, putting as much pressure as he can. He gets out and going for sliced bread. And we go 1, 2, 3, and Androide 787 has retained the belt. Mike Mendoza will lose his hair. Androide 787 saved his hair, proving himself to be a worthy champion, beating Espiritu Pro Wrestling Dojo's teacher, and showing himself as the top of the mountain, the man to beat. Because if you want to be the man, you have to beat the man, and right now the man is Androide 787. Just throwing the hair extensions into Mike Mendoza's face. Mike Mendoza cannot believe it. He's about to lose his hair. He has lost a hair versus hair match before. This was a long time ago on WWC, about 6 years ago. He never thought that it would happen again in his career. A lot has happened since then. He was very young. Right now he has been decorated with multiple championships, but now doesn't matter how many years have gone by, Mike Mendoza has lost his hair once again. Mike Mendoza getting in the chair. Will he accept his defeat and let Androide 787 cut his hair? Mike Mendoza about to say a few words to the crowd. If there's something I can accept from myself, is that I accept defeat. And today I lost. But I lost to somebody who's great in this ring. If there's something I can say about this man, is that he has the words of Spiritu in his hand. There is respect, there is loyalty, and there's passion for this. Today, I lose my hair. But I don't lose my respect for you, and thank you. Strong words for Mike Mendoza. Mike Mendoza respecting the student, acknowledging him as the man right now, as everybody just cheering him, screaming thank you, Mike, for this. And it is time for Mike Mendoza to lose his hair. Getting shaved, completely bald, accepting it like a man, respecting Androide as the bigger man right now. We have not seen Mike Mendoza bald in so many years. crowd cheering. A very emotional moment as Mike hugs his student. People, I'm gonna say a lot of things, but if there's no love, there's no wrestling in Puerto Rico. And Espiritu exists because of the dedication of Mike Mendoza. Because he is creating a new generation of pro wrestling. As the crowd chants, "Thank you, Mike." And there's something I cannot forget. The music of Mecha Wolf